Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Citizen channel. Fantastic day. I've just watched the City Crystal Palace game. I've put some little notes together. A slightly different version today because obviously there's a few bit of a media blackout, isn't there? So I don't have any things like quirky stats and Manchester Evening News player ratings at the moment. So we'll get through this. We'll put this out anyway and celebrate, can't we? We can celebrate a fantastic fantastic afternoon at Selhurst. With, let's face it, it was pretty much our B team, wasn't it, with a couple of exceptions. But they did a great job, didn't they? So join me as we have a quick look at this, a quick match analysis. The match stats with my ratings anyway. No doubt I'll buy the Evening News tomorrow and see what their ratings are like for my little stats for the season sort of thing. And of course, any conclusions we can make about City and our opponents after today's game, and a bit more as we look back at the game today. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications so you know these little vlogs are coming out. Try and inform and entertain as we go through. And don't forget, we have a live show now every Monday evening on 5 p.m. UK time. So please join me for that as well. If you've not joined me for that in the past, please get along. We'll be talking this and obviously talking the P.S.G game, no doubt, the second leg of that on Monday. So please keep your eyes out for that. You'll see some film and TV stuff if you're interested in film and TV. I do that as well. I love film and TV. Not quite as much perhaps as I love City, but not far behind, to be honest with you. So if you want to have a little break from footy, have a look at that. I do reviews and information vlogs on film and TV as well. So some good stuff on there. Or if you know somebody who might be interested, please point in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And there's a couple of links on screen for Facebook and Twitter. So if you follow or friend me on there, I do check every 3 or 4 days and follow and friend everyone back. All your comments are welcome. Very, very welcome. All new comments from new subscribers are fantastic. Just let me know what you're thinking about City, etc. It doesn't have to be about this game. It could be anything you want. And of course, if no time for a comment, it's nice to get a thumbs up, isn't it? Fantastic. Just before we get into the thing, new King of the Kippax is out. If you want information on how you can get hold of that, that's the only hard copy thing we've got. Obviously, even with no programmes this season, it's nice to get the Palace programme. I got that yesterday, which was nice to get just before the match as well. That's quite a nice programme. Not the greatest content, but you can go onto my programme, watch for that in a it'll be a while yet, probably 2 or 3 weeks time when that'll be appearing on there. But obviously there's a lot of football going on at the moment, isn't there? A lot of live football, etc. So yeah, so King of the Kippax, if you're interested in that, there's great stuff in there as usual. The only hard copy City dedicated magazine you can get at the moment. So if you do need any details or how to get hold of it, give us a shout and I'll supply. Or if you tune in on Monday, I'll shout it out as well, because no doubt it'll be on there as well. So it's nice to have the Palace programme, wasn't it? Fantastic. Right, excuse me, let me just have a little quick drink. See, I've still not recovered from Wembley with my voice. So occasionally it just goes. So I'm sure it'll be going a bit more. I actually cheered today. I don't usually cheer when I watch on watch on a stream. I'm usually, inside I am, but I don't usually actually cheer externally, and I did so today, especially when a certain gentleman scored his first goal. I'd give out a little cheer, so that was a bit of a first for me today, to be honest with you. It's quite odd for me to do that when I'm sat here on my own sort of thing, but there you go. Right, the match. Officials, referee David Coote, not one of my favourites. He didn't exactly endear himself again today. A bit more on him later. His Lionels, Marc Perry and Nick Hopton. Fourth official, Stuart Atwell. On VAR, had Jonathan Moss. I think there's one little thing you had to look at, didn't there? But I don't think he was far wrong with it, to be honest with you. Although I think it was armpit job again, wasn't it? Assistant VAR, Gary Bezic. Yep, 8 changes. I did think we'd go for a lot of changes. I did think he would sort of be looking towards PSG rather than this game. So obviously, the starting 11: Edison, Cancelo, Laporte, Aki, Mendy, Fernandinho, Rodri, Sterling, Torres, Aguero, and Jesus. And the subs: Stefan, Walker. I think all these will be playing now, aren't they? Walker, Diaz, Gundogan, Zinchenko. Well, perhaps not Zinchenko. We don't know on that one yet. A bit iffy, that one. De Bruyne, Bernardo, Mahrez, and Foden. Yeah, so my lineup, folks, I got 9 correct. So that wasn't too bad, was it? I did put Foden and Bernardo in there just for a bit of creativity, but I think as I sort of jokingly said on Twitter before the game, I think he's going 4 at the back and 6 up front. I don't think we've got a midfield as such, so just obviously a bit tongue-in-cheek, but that's the feeling I had when I saw that team, to be honest with you. But certainly not a lot of creativity. I was thinking perhaps he's going to rely on Cancelo to be as creative as some of our other midfielders, but didn't really pan out like that, did it? Pre-match social media. So I think everyone was happy. I don't think there was, I had a couple of people saying, what's everyone moaning about? But I didn't really see anyone moaning particularly. I think we accepted that it was going to be this team, didn't we? I think the fact that Sergio was in there certainly brightened everyone up and made everyone a bit more happier. So on to the match summation, the stats on this. I'm sorry, no Phil Bannages today because obviously I'm doing this a little bit early, so he's not had time to put his little pros out there. So, but do check out on Facebook his match report when he's put that together. Absolutely fantastic. It does take a lot of time. I have heard him say he's perhaps going to do a summary in future, which would be a great shame because he does great match reviews. But perhaps if you go on there and give him some give him a G up and say how fantastic he is, he might carry on doing it, but it does take a while. It does take time. I mean, these things do take time. People think you can just turn up and do it, but believe it or not, you have to spend a bit of time looking into these things and remembering things and watching back things and stuff like that. So anyway, give Phil Bannages a watch on Facebook, or give him a look at his match report as and when that comes out, and all the other stuff he posts, which is interesting anyway. Right, the first 45 minutes, Torres had the first City chance, but he sort of, rather than put his foot through it and volley it, he sort of tried to side foot it in. I'm not too sure what he did that. I think he hit the defender and went for a corner, but unusual way of finishing, so a bit disappointing from Torres. 10 minutes up the other end, despite rising like, of course, the proverbial salmon that we talk about, don't we? Benteke somehow glanced a header wide. He looks as though he did everything right. Rolls like this, like that, and obviously it just glanced off his head and went went a bit wide. But hey, there you go. He almost did it, didn't he, Benteke? But to say it just sort of glanced it wide. But it was a chance, unfortunately, and they did sort of have the better chances, I think, in the first half. 14 minutes, we had Raz was high and wide from the edge of the box, but it's going to be one of those days for Raz again, wasn't it? Unfortunately, 17 minutes, Sterling does a Highland jig across the box, doesn't he? About 8 yards out, sort of beats one or two. The ball falls for him. Never quite gets his shot in, does it? And we sort of a sort of good chance wasted. I think he had one chance to get a shot in, and he divered as he does, divering Sterling. But we did say on the live show that there's a thing called dartitis, isn't it, where a darts player can't get rid of his throw. I think Mr. Bristow had it many years ago. But I think obviously we confirmed that Raz has got something similar with the ball, so I've just called it ball-titus, which I think is fair enough. I think that's what we should call it. I think you out there should promote that. I think Raz has got ball-titus, but there you go. Hopefully we'll get something to rub on it or something like that. I'm not too sure. Anyway, high and wide, and then he does his Highland jig across the box and doesn't know quite when to hit it, so it's sort of, we lose the chance, don't we? 21 minutes. Aguero doesn't shoot with a great chance. Again, don't tell us Sterling's lack of confidence is rubbing off on Sergio as well. But he tries to find Sterling, but there's a couple of defenders in the way, unfortunately, so it didn't come to anything, which was a great shame. 28 minutes again, Benteke does well, but his shot is blocked at the near post by Edison. I don't think Edison knew too much about it. He just made himself big. But another chance. I think there was another chance for Benteke in that first half as well. I haven't got it down here, but I do remember three half chances for him anyway. But we'll talk about him in a bit. That was 28 minutes. 36 minutes. Jesus had the ball in the net, of course, but it's Jesus, so offside is no surprise. I said the VAR lines were out, weren't they? But it didn't look anything to cry about. I mean, obviously, if things hadn't gone our way, perhaps we would have had a little bit of a cry about it. But I think he was offside in the initial build-up to it. 38 minutes, Aguero slices wide under pressure in the box. Yeah, I mean, he did okay again, but he just sliced it to the right. 39 minutes, easy of Palace, puts it well wide of Edison's post. Yeah, there was a bit of a roar. You know, I was watching an Arab channel, I think, but they went, oh, you know, but it was quite wide. It wasn't that close. So half time 0-0. Yeah, I mean, I did write at half time. I do actually say what I wrote, so I'm not doing this in hindsight. I just said has 0-0 all over it, unless there is a change in personnel or someone gets a bit of confidence up front for City. Palace looked dangerous, although we have done reasonably well. Pep will hope these guys will do it because he won't be keen to unleash any of his players off the bench, because let's face it, that bench is the PSG team apart from Stefan and perhaps Zinchenko might be like that. But yeah, that was what he didn't want to do. I don't think he wanted to risk too many players off that bench, so let's be honest about it. Into the second half, 53 minutes, a half chance. But Torres, yeah, he sort of, I don't think it was going in anyway, but the defender ended up heading it over the bar, didn't you, over his old bar for a corner. But it was a half chance for Torres anyway. 57 minutes, 1-0. It was 1-0, wasn't it? 57 minutes, 1-0. Mendy down the left, which he did. He sort of hits it at pace, which he does. He doesn't ever slide it across nicely, does it? And Aguero, fantastic, absolutely superbly collects it. Sort of controls it, but allows it. You know, it sort of still bounces in front of him. Ideal for him to just absolutely welly it past the keeper. Absolutely fantastic. As I say, Mendy's, he sort of made the most. I don't think it was the greatest ball from Mendy, as I say, he just hit it at pace, and Sergio just took it in his stride. A fantastic goal, and that's what we want. That's what we want. We've missed a striker, haven't we? Unfortunately, so fantastic goal, 1-0, and then within 2 minutes it was 2-0, and probably game over, wasn't it? There was some good build-up play before this, but it ended up with a sort of deflected Sterling pass that fell nicely for Torres, and again, first time, he didn't put it right inside the post, but it was enough to bend it round the keeper and into the goal. I mean, the keeper didn't have much chance. I think the keeper had a good game, actually. But, yeah, so that was 2-0. It's pretty much game over, but we did have a hatful of chances after that as well. 62 minutes, Sterling does well and hits the post, didn't he, with the keeper beating at his near post. So very unlucky. It was one of those days for Sterling, wasn't it? 65 minutes from a corner, an almighty scramble ends with a Laporte chance blocked. I mean, I think we had 2 or 3 chances to get the ball in the net, but it just wouldn't happen. 67 minutes, Mendy puts Jesus on the canvas, doesn't he? He knocks him out with one of his attempted passes again, and poor Jesus is only about 5 yards away. So obviously Mendy's sort of pass, which was like a rocket, which they are, sort of put poor Jesus on the canvas for the count of 9. I think he got up, but on the count of 9. But that was quite funny. It did make me laugh, but he was okay. 67 minutes as well. We had Zinchenko came on, and Fernandinho went off. So there you go. That's more. All we need to know that we probably think Ferner's going to start on Tuesday, don't we? I thought Rodri might, but I'm fairly sure Ferner might now. 71 minutes, a rare Palace effort was easy for Ederson. 74 minutes, Torres sets up Cancelo, who hits it just over the bar. 79 minutes, Raz looks as though he'll be first to a cross, and I don't know what happened there. He looks as though he's going to get to it before the keeper, but all of a sudden the keeper's got it in his hands, and Raz is looking up to the sky. And I mean, I think we're all looking up to the sky, Raz, at that one. But and straight from that, they sort of break away up the other end, and Palace do have another good chance, but the final shot straight at Ederson, fortunately for us. 82 minutes, a 35-yard free kick. Yes, up steps the most confident person on the pitch, not Sterling, and it was pretty pathetic. It was a pretty pathetic free kick. It was absolutely awful. But why? I mean, I'd rather Zinchenko take it. It probably would have ended up in the same row in the stand, but yeah, why Raz took it, I have no idea. 83 minutes, yeah. Raz does everything right, doesn't he? Everything right. And then he tries to curl it inside the far post, but it's just a little bit wide. It's about a yard wide overall. It didn't really threaten, didn't really scare the post at all. 84 minutes, yeah. Aki, who had a good game. A last-ditch interception from a corner, wasn't it? To give a corner. I think we let Zaha run a little bit, though, and obviously Ederson sort of was coming for it, but Aki realised he wasn't going to get there, so he stuck his boot in, and I think he nearly kicked Ederson in the hand as well, or he did kick him, but fortunately Ederson wasn't injured by it. I mean, that's all we need, isn't it? But we got away with that one. 88 minutes, another Sergio snapshot just saved at the near post. One of those where the goalie doesn't get a chance to sort of reorganise himself, and Sergio's got that talent for just hitting it early, doesn't he? Although he didn't in the first half, that first one for Sterling when he tried to pass to Sterling. But yeah, so another striker attempt there from Sergio, which was nice to see. 3 minutes injury time, but say not too much happened. That's to sort of worry us. Full time, happy days. There we go. I'll give you my little conclusions at the end. Ref watch Coote. I don't like Coote. As I say, I've not seen too much of him, but well, I don't think he was great today. I think he made some bad judgments. So I'm only going to give him a 4 out of 10. I thought it was quite rubbishy today. I don't know if you agree. I know VAR had something to do, but I've just crossed them off the graphic there. I've not said there's nothing untoward particularly, was there? Match stats, 9 by Palace, 20 by City. I think it was a lot closer in the first half, obviously. On target, 4 by Palace, but only 3 by City. So yeah, we were just a little bit dodgy on the on-target basis again, which is to be expected. Possessions 70% for City, which was okay. Passes 293 for Palace, 684 for City. Pass completion a bit low for City, yeah, 73% for Palace, which isn't great, obviously, but 87 by City. I mean, we're usually up in the high 80s, early 90s, but given the team that we put out there, I think that's probably fair enough. Corners 2 for Palace, 6 for City, and fouls 9 by Palace and 10 by City. Yeah, so on to the player ratings, just my little player ratings. So please let me know yours, just so I can have a comparison. That'd be great if you can let me know what you think. As I say, I've just done this and come up with these on my own. And my starting score is going to be 7. So as I say, it was a good team effort. No one particularly outstanding. There's 2 or 3 get higher scores, obviously, but and there's 1 or 2 get lower scores, unfortunately. I was going to give everyone a 7, but I think I don't think I should do that. I mean, at the end of the day, when I do a season ratings, it should be a real reflection on each player, not just on the fact that the team played okay. In overall, I would score probably the team a 7 or 7.5 today, something like that. Right, Edison, yeah, a man mount. I thought it was confidence oozed from him at the back today. I thought it was a bit of a man mountain, certainly considering he was playing behind perhaps a back 4 he's not used to as well. And I think he was confident, and he gave the defence confidence in front of him. So I can't, although he didn't have anything fantastic to save, he did everything he had to do. So he's got to get the basic 7, hasn't he, without being anything fantastic. But as I said, I think he just gave the back 4 a confidence, which, let's face it, haven't played together that much. Cancelo, yeah, possibly our poorest player on the day. I did hear someone earlier on say he thought he played all right, but most people agreed with me. I thought it wasn't his best day. I mean, it wasn't not a total disaster, but there was quite a few little errors, and he did odd things pretty well, actually, but yeah, most of the errors that caused us problems, they seem to be at the centre or in and around them. So I'm only going to give Cancelo a 6 today, which isn't a disastrous score, is it? It's not a total disaster, but I just wasn't impressed at all. He seems to... someone did mention again, I'm not sure who it was on Twitter, but obviously he said plays better when Bernardo's around. But I think that probably goes for most players because Bernardo does all the donkey work, doesn't he? But yeah, I'll just give Cancelo a 6. Laporte, along with Aki, looked fairly composed. He certainly did. We did give chances to Palace, of course we did, but you don't forget these guys haven't played a competitive game. They might have played friendly games and stuff like that, but they've not really played a competitive game together. So I thought he did okay. I was quite happy. He looked at experience. He used his experience. He looks confident. He run that back line. And I said, they did have 2 or 3 chances, but they're no mugs, Palace. So, yeah, I'm going to give Laporte the standard 7. There's certainly no reason to give him any less than the standard 7 there. I thought he did really well. And the same with Aki. I think, again, he was caught out once or twice, but I was quite impressed with Aki today, considering his lack of games, obviously. We know he's a good player. All right, he got beat in the air a few times, which he's bound to. He's not the tallest of guys, is he? But yeah, I'm going to give Aki and Laporte 7, so Aki's going to get a 7 as well. Mendy, yeah, appeared a lot more mobile today. There's a lot more confidence. As I say, sometimes he doesn't quite know when to zip a pass in and when to sort of hold it back a little bit. I think he's all one pace with his passing, which isn't great, to be honest with you. I don't think that's fantastic. But he did appear a lot more mobile. And he was certainly smashing his head, apart from nearly killing Jesus, obviously, which wasn't very good. But again, a good solid game for him, man. I mean, defensively as well, it wasn't that bad. He was okay. It was not fantastic, but I thought it was okay. So I'm going to give Mendy the standard 7 as well. On to Rodri. Yeah, another one of those where I've very rarely noticed him. He did a couple of things. Looks a bit cumbersome at times, which he has a tendency to do, doesn't he? But does he know that he's not playing on Tuesday? Is he in a bit of a sulk? I don't know, because I just thought he had a quieter game and wasn't his normal. He's never lively, is he, particularly? But he usually lumbers around a little bit. But so yeah, I'm not going to give him the 7. I'm just going to give him a 6.5. I don't think he was great, but as I said, is it psychological with him? Does he know that he's probably not going to be playing, because he didn't have the greatest game in the first leg, did he? Well, I don't think he did anyway, from memory. Yeah, so I'll give him a 6.5, but yeah, I wasn't impressed with Rodri. Ferran, well, what can I say? I mean, I would be more than happy to see him starting against PSG, a good captain's performance of the game, so I'm going to give him 7.5. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was a rock, caused a bit of trouble, did his usual cheeky little things to players, and his cocky attitude, which I like, and yeah, I'll give him a good 7.5. Torres, yeah, again, made not perfect by any means, but tried to make an impression, kept going, never gave in, he never gave up, and he was rewarded with a goal in the end, which was fantastic. I was quite impressed with Torres today. In a team that played okay, I thought he was perhaps one of the better players, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, especially because he scored as well. So even though it wasn't perfect by any means, yeah, it's got to be worth an 8 out of 10. Jesus, again, another one that's superb work, and we've seen him not get as involved. Well, it looks a bit chaotic the last couple of games he's played, but this one he looked a bit more into everything and everywhere, wasn't he? He was all over the pitch, he was picking things up, and he was out on the wings, and he was coming back, and I thought Jesus had a good game. All right, he did his usual offside for the goal, but no, I'm going to give, I thought Jesus was worth half a point extra. I'm going to give Jesus a 7.5 anyway. I thought he played okay today. Sterling, well, what can we say? He does everything right. Well, he does, let's face it, he does 90% right, and it's just that last 10%, isn't it? So this ballitis that he's got, ballitis, this disease that he's got, and when to release a ball and when not to release a ball, when to shoot and when not to shoot. I think we said it with Werner against Chelsea. I thought Werner can't hit a barn door, can he? He can't score for toffee, but running down that wing, at least he can sort of get crosses in and supply other players with it. And I think that's the best thing for Sterling. Get him down the wing, putting some balls into Sergio, whoever's up front at the time, obviously. But I was going to say, I don't think he'll be anywhere near the PSG game, to be honest with you. But I think that's where he'll be better. Just stick him on a wing and getting him to get balls in, because as far as in front of goal, he had one great chance that just went a little bit wide, didn't it? But again, he was stuttering and divering and messing about. So I'll have to give him a 6. It's a shame, because he's 100%. Don't get me wrong, he played 100%, but it's the finished product isn't very, very good, and it comes back. It can easily come back to sting us in the bum, unfortunately, when he doesn't sort of finish these things off. It didn't today. We got away with it thanks to 2 cracking goals, but there you go. I'll give him a 6. I wasn't say he needs some confidence, unfortunately. Aguero, well, it's great to see, wasn't it? A full 90 minutes. All right, he wasn't always involved, but strikers, I don't think strikers are always involved. I mean, it's that long ago since I watched City play with out-and-out number 9. I forgot how they play now. I don't know how it works, but yeah, he does what he does best. What a fantastic goal. Absolutely superb goal. And he had a couple of other sort of half chances. As I said, discounting that Sterling effort in the first half, where he should have really just welled it rather than trying to find Sterling. But yeah, we missed you, mate. I've missed the number 9. I forgot what it's like to watch City. As I say, I don't watch a lot of football away from City, so I forgot what it's like to have a sort of little. All right, he's not a target man. He's not Edin Dzeko, is he? But to have that guy in the middle who, and he spent a lot of time coming back and picking the ball up, and that obviously helps, because it confuses the Palace players as to who they're marking and where they're coming from, etc. So, considering the circumstances, and a fantastic goal, I'm going to give Sergio an 8.5, my highest score of the day. I think he thoroughly deserves that, and a great game. Great to see him back. I hope you agree with that anyway. Yeah, Zinchenko came on. I'm not going to mark him 67 minutes. He had a bit of a wobbler, a bit of a cob on him or something, didn't he? I know he got a bit angry and put the ball down really nastily, but he gave a silly foul away. I don't know why he was complaining. He barged into a player and it was needless. He could have just jockeyed him, and he gave a free kick away where they could put it into the box. So I don't know why he was winning. Perhaps he's been told he's not playing on Tuesday. I don't know, but yeah. Apart from that, it was okay. But yeah, bit odd from Zinchenko. So yeah, City's a man of the match. It's got to be Serge, hasn't it? Fantastic performance. It's just great to see a striker on the pitch for City, isn't it? I mean, no offence to Jesus, but it is just great to see an out-and-out striker who knows how to score a goal. And let's face it, he certainly did score that. What a fantastic goal! I'll still keep saying that because it was. So I'll carry on watching that. I'm going to get up and watch it again. I've not watched it enough. I've only watched it about 3 times. I'll have to watch it a few more times. So there you go. Our record now against Palace at their place. We played 29 games, won 14, drawn 7 and lost 8. And our goals for are 38 and goals against 28. So another 2-goal margin. Hey, that sounds familiar. 2-goal margin, but our highest wins at Palace have only been 2-goal margins, so it's a hard place to go and score a lot of goals. Conclusions, yeah, I say no quirky stats today because of the media blackout with these guys on the internet. Hodgson, yeah, I did say in the preview, Hodgson's going through the motions. I think the team are going through the motions. They need an injection, don't they? I don't think old Zaha, was moaned, I think, today. I don't think he played that well. But they've got some other good players. Benteke's Benteke, isn't he? I mean, he's never got to change. He's always got to fluff his lines. So, you know, and as I said, he had three good chances that first half. One was useless, that header. But the other 2 chances, at least he hit the target. And the goalie had to make a save, or the defender had to block. So, yeah, he is what he is, but that sort of sums up Palace, I think, Benteke at the moment. That's the sort of team they've got, and I think they do need the injection. Perhaps a new manager will give them, because I just think at the moment they're just treading water. Gualter, I quite liked him, the keeper, is it Gualter? Thought he had a good game, so I quite liked him. He was quite lively when we did give him chances to get to the ball sometimes. I said that one with Sterling, where Sterling looked odds on to get to it first, and I don't know what happened, but Galta ended up with it. But there you go. No, I'm quite impressed with Galta, but I thought that they're an okay team. They just need G'ing up, don't they? Palace, I say they're gonna finish 13th, 14th this season, which is exactly the same as they did last season. They just need a boost now, and I think a new manager, and all credit to Woy, who's done a good job. Woy Hodgson, fantastic. How can you not feel any affection for that guy? You know what I mean? He's such a wonderful, well, on the face of it, a wonderful bloke. But yeah, a new manager, and I think Palace need a little bit of a boost. But as ever, they're not easy to play against, and it was a good victory for City, sort of, if you like, lesser team. And yeah, as for City. Yeah, I mean, I think we more or less know the starting 11 for PSG, isn't there? There's obviously 1 or 2 little discrepancies coming into that and what might happen. I don't think perhaps Mendy's played himself into left back, and I would probably prefer Laporte at left back, but Zinchenko surely. But having said that, I don't know what happened today. As I say, he just seemed a bit angry today, so perhaps he's been told he's not playing. I'm sure he hasn't, but that was my impression. But and obviously. These lads today, don't forget, they very rarely play in competitive games, so all credit to them. I think even the guys who are only marked down a little bit, like Cancelo, well, he's played a few more, hasn't he? But yeah, they all played really well today. I think they did City proud, to be honest with you, considering the lineup and the fact they haven't played many competitive games, and all credit to them. I think they all give 100%, even though it didn't always work, as in Sterling, it didn't always work, but he gave 100%. And it was great to see a striker in action for City, wasn't it? I mean, there you go. And what it's done as well, if you think about it, all right, he's not going to start against PSG on Tuesday, is he? Let's be honest about it. But if he can play the last 3 or 4 league games, Sergio, I mean, he could be primed. He could be primed for that fight. You know, if we do beat PSG, I mean, fingers crossed. It's a big if, because PSG are a big threat at our place. It does give us an option, I think, if we get another 4 league games under his belt, Sergio Aguero, that'd be a fantastic finale to have him. Certainly, as we saw, he can score a goal, and even if it means, you know, we're desperate and off the bench or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see after Tuesday. But he could be the little bit of magic that we perhaps need, and what a way to finish this season that will be. Hey, that'll be fantastic, won't it? I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it now, if it does happen, eh? But life isn't always like that, is it? But we'll have to see. And also Torres, I think, you know, I think a lot of people give up on Torres, but I think it's fair. It's his first season. It's been exceptional circumstances, and you could see today he's got something. So I'm sure he'll improve vastly next season as well. But There we go. So all those guys, well done. You've obviously put the effort into almost clinch that title for us, and that's what we wanted, really. That's what Pep wanted, and that's what we all hoped for when we saw that team that was announced before the game. So all credit to him. Well done, City. Well done, Pep, today. I thought he did a fantastic job. Yep, so thanks for joining me. Of course, I'll be back with a preview of that PSG game. There'll be a history, boys, as well, about the PSG games that we played at the Etihad, a couple of games previously, so a little bit of a story about that. And, of course, please check out all my Citizen vlogs. And there is one that went out this morning. If you get a chance to watch it, it's just goes back to 1973 in a home game with Crystal Palace. But we talk about Palace and a game back in history against Palace, a record-breaking game. And Mr. Rodney Marsh and Malcolm Allison also feature as well. So if you get a chance, have a look at that as well. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till you join me here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps have a look at my film and TV channel. All I ever ask you to do is stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.